Again, this is very similar to the other problem, and the other problem was they're parametrics, and they're asking me to graph it, and the graph looks like if I had to make tables, it looked like this might be really, really tough to do. So what I'm going to try to do is, look for something that might be easier for me to deal with. And one of the things I could do is I'm going to try to solve it for t. All right, and if I do that, what do you get? For the first equation, you get x minus 3 over 4 equals the cosine of t. And if I do the other equation, solve for t, I haven't solved for t yet, by the way, I'm getting close to it though. What do you get? Y minus 5 over 4 equals sine of t. Well, you know what? You could solve for t, but it's going to involve arc functions, and I don't think that's productive. So what I'm going to do instead is square both sides. All right, what would you get? You would get x minus 3 squared over 16 is equal to cosine squared. All right, just squared this one. Let's square the other one. What do you get? Y minus 5 squared over 16 equals sine squared. Okay? Add those two together, and what do you get? You would get x minus 3 squared over 16 plus y minus 5 squared over 16 equals sine squared plus cosine squared. Again, the argument there is t. By the way, I still haven't eliminated the parameter, but I'm starting to see something. And what am I seeing over here? A Pythagorean identity. And this is true for all t. What do I know about it? It's equal to 1. So what do I get over here? X minus 3 squared over 16 plus y minus 5 squared over 16 is equal to 1. I eliminate the parameter t, but again, it may still be in unfamiliar territory. I'm going to multiply both sides by 16. And right now, I'm very familiar with this. And what is it? It's equation of a circle. This is a circle. Center, relatively easy to read. It's 3, 5, and its radius is going to be equal to 4. So what would you do? I would plot the center. I'm going to use the graph that's provided to me, by the way. And let me put that down for you. The center is 3, 5, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just ballparking the center there. Now, when you took Math 100, what they did was they used the 4-point technique, and I want to go through that with you. What they did was they went up 4 units, they went down 4 units, they went to the right 4 units, and to the left 4 units, and they asked you to identify those points. And let's do that now, all right? So I'm going to identify the center again for you. It's 3, 5. I'm going to identify this point up here. The x is still 3, by the way, but now I'm at 5, and I went up 4, so it would be the number 9. All right, let's put this point down over here. I'm still at x is 3, but I'm at the center, which is 5. I moved down 4, so that would be 1. What's this point over here? Well, the y's 5, that hasn't changed, but the x, I moved to the right 4 units. So 3, 4 to right would be 7. And this point over here, the y didn't change, it's still 5. But the x changed. The center was 3, but now I moved right 4, so it'd be minus 1. Right, if you want, you can kind of zoom in on these things over here. I hope you can agree, just by looking at it. I mean, these points, they're there, every single one. Right, this one I see, I'm seeing the y value to be 5, the x to be minus 1. I'm seeing this point, x to be 3, y to be 1. I'm seeing this point over here, which is, again, in appearance, appears to be 7 on the x and 5 on the y. And this one over here appears to be 3 on the x and not in the y. They're all working into it. Now, certainly on exams, you don't have the picture. Let me just kind of sketch that in now. And again, we're not worried about, perfect detail over here, but that is an equation of a circle, all right? Okay, I realize some people are doubting Thomas's, and we'll go over that. And, how would you use a machine to graph that? You can actually type this into a machine, and it will graph it, and we'll go over that, all right? So I graphed it. What's the next thing? It says eliminate the parameter. I did that. I want to point out where that is. That's right over here. I've eliminated the parameter, and that's written over here. The next thing you asked about the domain and range of it. And the way I would do that is look at the picture. All right, so let's write this down, domain and the range of it. Well, if you look at the picture, the x values stream back and forth between -1 and they appear to go up to 7. The y values, looks like it's starting at 1. It's actually touching it, by the way, and going up to 9. Now let's take a look. They said the y is between 1 and 9. We did that. And they said the x between -1 and 7, and we did that. We're good to move forward. Thank you.